All right, what's up, you guys? I'm here with a very, very special video right now. I can't believe we haven't done a video together, but I am here with my special guest at this time.
My name's Steviebreech, man. I have made videos on YouTube since around 2010, but I don't think I'm very, very special. I'm just a dude who goes to work every day, supports a family, and happens to love wrestling at the same time.
Yeah, I respect that, man. But I feel like a lot of people watching right now don't know who you are.
I hope so.
Sure.
I hope so. It's not. I mean, the views don't rain in like they used to. I definitely had my day, and I've passed it on, hopefully, to somebody else. But I still make videos when there's something to make videos about.
Yeah, and hey, you're still going at it. You haven't given up. That's cool, man.
I think one of the things when people would ask me like how do you get noticed is you just have to like find some sort of system where you just are constantly making videos. So there's videos for people to watch. When I noticed my views decline, I went on like a sabbatical in 2016 where I didn't even log into YouTube for like at least 4 months. And I think the people that enjoyed watching me every day out of like repetition, just they broke that habit and they started watching somebody else's videos.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole community out there that's vast. You know, like you kind of had your first come up of people, and then it kind of goes in phases. You know, you'll have like a big group of people. They'll kind of drop off a little bit for personal reasons, or their heart's just not into it anymore. And then yeah, like there's always new ones. Like I'm still seeing new ones pop up every day, and I encourage it because like yeah, I've taken my fair share of breaks and kind of getting back into it a little more now. Some personal stuff happened, but you know, I definitely want to get back into it. But yeah, like I was scrolling YouTube the other day, and yeah, there's so many people still doing wrestling DVD videos.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're ever gonna die. The people who think that like the network one day is just gonna close up shop, I don't think that that's gonna happen. Maybe, well, definitely now we know that the network of Peacock isn't what the WWE network was of just a few years ago. They're just they have the stuff they want, and they're going to add a little bit of stuff here and there. You're going to get your what used to be known as pay-per-views. But as far as like going back and like finding the old Coliseum home video collection, they're not going to do that. They're never going to put up all the Hulkamanias, the stuff that I think is just so easy that people want to see. They're just never going to do that. The people that run Peacock, they have what they think they have when there's probably 75% more out there in that library at WWE that they just don't put up there for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know if it's one of those things where they're like, oh, they're not going to want to see old VHS clips. And I mean, they're not wrong with a lot of the younger fans right now.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them might not be interested. Some of them are like, oh, that's VHS. That's, you know, we have the network now. We can watch it on demand. You know, it's available whenever you want it. And, you know, you still have your crop of collectors out there who still run to Walmart or visit the disc replays, the FYEs. I don't think Best Buy actually has them anymore. But
they had some DVDs for like Black Friday, but I've heard that they're getting out 100%. No more Blu-rays, no more DVDs. Doesn't matter how big of a movie it is. So they're not going to be stocking WWE. They won't even have WrestleMania on the shelf. There's no way that moves enough numbers that they care to put it out there.
Yeah, I remember I made a video like 2015 where I visited my Best Buy. And it was bare bones physical media. And here we are in 2023. So I'm kind of surprised they're still, I mean, not anymore, obviously, but my store still has some physical media, but it's kind of just delegated to one little shelf. And it's always empty anyway.
That was my dream job when I moved from Georgia to California in 2002. I was going out and I was like applying for jobs here and there along the way. my dream jobs at the time was to work at Tower Records, like a local record store here in California, Best Buy selling DVDs, or to work at Toys R Us. And I'm glad that I ended up with the job I have now at the grocery store, because all three of those businesses have just gotten out of the business of that, and I wouldn't even know what I was doing with my life now, because I wouldn't have a job there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be a need for a grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I work at a pharmacy,
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of, the essential. It's always going to be essential items there, so it's kind of a stable job.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to be needed.
Mm-hmm.
So, you said you started 2010? You said.
Yeah, I started making videos. Really, when I first started, I've said it to his face. I watched my buddy Jim Nye 686 make videos back in the day, and he would like talk about what DVDs were coming out. He would review past DVDs. He would give like the fastest DVD review as soon as DVDs came out, telling you if it was worth the money. And I just watched it, and I was like, this looks like it would be fun. And I think honestly I could do it better, which kind of like is a dick thing to say, but I just thought that my style might be a little bit different, and just so I started making videos, and I caught fire. I got really lucky that like the people that I watched on YouTube at the time were like opening up Twitter accounts, and it kind of became easy to get friends with them, and that sort of spawned into like me becoming friends with the people that I watched on YouTube, and then sort of like giving me plugs that gave me that push to get out there where people could actually see my videos, because that's probably the hardest part, is just once you get started, not getting stuck with like videos that get like 4 views. Because I mean, it's fun making the videos, but I don't think it's going to be long term if you're not seeing like a return of like people enjoying what you're doing as well.
Yeah. And I mean, one of my favorite things you always did was the WrestleMania trips.
Oh
yeah, those
man,
classics.
I tried to get it off the ground, and I'm not gonna say that it's 100% dead. I got one person on the hook. I really wanted to go this year. I don't even really know that I want to go to WrestleMania that much, more than I just want to be in that city with all those wrestling fans. I miss WrestleCon more than anything else. And I've tried to get the band together a few times. A few times I've been the guy who's said like no, and it's been my fault that we haven't done it. But as soon as we can do one of those trips again, I can't wait. I can't wait to get all those guys back together again.
Yeah, maybe 40. Who knows?
That's. I mean, there was a day roughly 2 months ago when I was in. I was like, I'm going. If nobody else goes, I don't care. I'm gonna rent a car. I'm gonna get a hotel room. If anybody wants to come, they can come. And then I found out the tickets already went on sale. And I had to buy on the second-hand market, and within a day, that dream sort of got crushed. And then I also found out that WrestleMania is 2 days now. That kind of was like, you got to buy 2 tickets. Like, oh, I don't know about this, but I'll throw his name out there. I don't think Ravi's 100% done yet. I think if WrestleMania gets a good card, I think Ravi would want to go, and I think that'd be something I could link up with him and have some fun out there.
Yeah, I'm only an hour away from Philly.
Uh-huh.
And I was looking at tickets today, actually, and yeah, the two. And I don't want to just go one of the nights. Like, if I'm gonna go, I want to go for the full card, the full experience. It's like a 2-night deal. And yeah, like I don't know if I can afford it.
I don't need to sit on the floor. I don't even need to sit in the hundreds, but I think I have to sit like in one of those, like, I think they were called club section seats, and they're like almost like for the 2-night pass, it's almost like $1,600 to $1,800, and I'm not even like really sure how good the view's gonna be from there. So I was wondering if like I could go and see like SmackDown, Raw, go to like WrestleCon and some local, the independent shows, and I was like, what if there's like a watch party where I could just go and watch like with other wrestling fans, but not have to be at the arena? I think that would almost be as fun. I thought about that.
Yeah. I did WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. It was a blast. And like you said, like part of it, I mean, the main part of it is just being around like-minded individuals. Like I was on Bourbon Street and literally 10 people just drunk dressed as Roddy Piper walking out. It was a blast. And this year,
Bourbon Street is where our buddy Brandon really got that click thing over. He was literally just like throwing it up to like anybody, and like just throwing it up, and people were just giving it right back. And like everybody's just, we're all there to watch wrestling. We all love wrestling. There could be two different, fans of two different guys, but there's still no problems out there. Just everybody knows why you're there, and it's just a blast for like a weekend or a week a year. Like, you're not the weirdo who likes wrestling. I don't know about you, but I don't get to have a lot of wrestling conversations at work. People want to talk about other things, no matter how big something is. Like CM Punk coming back. Nobody in my work knows about that. Like, it's just, I mean, you throw it out there hoping that somebody who doesn't watch anymore will bite on it, but most of the time nobody wants to talk to you about that.
Yeah, I do work with somebody who was really into wrestling, Attitude Era, stuff like that. And I was like, "Did you see CM Punk come back?" He's like, "Oh, yeah." And I'm just like, "All right." Like, people just got out of it, and a lot of people dropped off. And I don't know, AEW, yeah, it brought some interest back, but I don't know. I still see a lot of people, they're just done with wrestling. No matter how much you grow up with it, it seems like some people are just like, I can move on and just leave it behind.
I follow it. I mean, I don't really follow it enough to tell you like results from Monday Night Raw, but I go out of my way to at least know what the main event of Raw was. I know what's coming up on the pay-per-views, and I think I'll tell you the truth. I went to Disneyland this year. I was in the city. I didn't watch either night of WrestleMania, and I still haven't watched them. I own them on Blu-ray, but I say that I watched 3/4 of the pay-per-views that come up. Almost, there was a string of AEW shows that I felt like they were coming up too fast and they weren't worth the money, if that makes sense. But I watched the last one that I thought Jay White was going to win, and I don't think I've ever paid money for an AEW pay-per-view and felt that I got ripped off, like I didn't get my money's worth. I think that it works that they don't have so many shows a year that you can still buy them the old way.
Have you been to an AEW show?
I went to Dynamite when they were here in Sacramento, and it was fun. I mean, I knew a lot of the guys mostly from watching BTE and stuff like that, but I had the dream seats that I've wanted since I was like the little kid. I was like down on the floor right next to where like the ramp is, so you had to like stick your hand out and like have people high five you. I'm 42 years old, and I felt like I was 8 years old out there. At the end of the day, like, the show was good, but it didn't get me like fired up to where I'm watching all 3 of these AEW shows each and every week. It was just a fun place to be at.
Yeah, I did the first Dynamite in DC. I was just like, at least, even if it doesn't pan out, at least I can say I've been to the first Dynamite. And it was fun. And I don't know if I'd ever go to another show of theirs, but I don't know, if there was a pay-per-view close enough, why not?
Definitely.
And you're still in the DVD game?
Yeah. I'll tell you the last real WWE DVD that came out that I can think of well, non-pay-per-view-ish. I haven't done pay-per-view DVDs since the network came out, and was that 2014? Yeah. That Elimination Chamber was kind of like, all right, we don't need to do this anymore. I still pick up WrestleMania when it comes out because I just feel like that's a collection to keep going. But if you can remember, late last year they came out with that Best of the Attitude Era Royal Rumble matches. That was one of the worst DVDs they've ever done. That was just like cash grab city, and it's like, I don't even know why you did this, because not that many people buy DVDs anymore, and you're probably making the people who have collections and want to keep them alive mad. Literally all it was like 5 Royal Rumbles on 2 discs. Like, I was thinking, because it said Best of the Attitude Era Royal Rumbles, it would like feature the Royal Rumble matches. I thought we would get Rock versus Mankind, kind of stuff like that. And I was just like, well, what are we doing here? Like, this wasn't a DVD that I was going to cherish, but it was definitely one that I felt like I was going to get a weekend's watch in. I felt like I got my money's worth, and I honestly felt like they reached in my pocket, grabbed $20, and ran off with it.
I mean, a very common problem with collectors now is obviously only the collectors are the ones buying the DVDs, but the content on the DVDs are literally the same content we've been getting on DVDs for 20 some years. Like, you can get the Rumble matches if you want. Just get the Rumble anthology. It's the Best of the 2000s DVD that came out a few years ago. It was all just a rehash of things that have been released previously. The best of the SmackDown one, the best of the SummerSlam. Like, you should be catering to the hardcore collectors with new content that hasn't been released before. Like, why not put some Coliseum videos on DVD? Why not, you know?
They had a little peak where they were putting out a string of DVDs. They did I think they did a Hogan, a Macho Man, a Bret Hart one, and like a Shawn Michaels one, where it was like what were they called? Like Never Before Seen or something like that.
Unreleased.
It was like hard to find matches. Literally ones that if you wanted to watch that match, you would have to really look for it. It's not just like a pay-per-view match off SummerSlam 1991 or like, you know, stuff like that. It was like stuff they really thought about, and they were like, that's a good match. That's a good house show match. This is the matchup you've never seen before. I thought those were really good DVDs. They probably weren't the best sellers in the world, but for us, like, that was something like you felt like you got your money's worth out of it.
Yeah, one of the best DVDs they released. I know I have it here somewhere. I don't know where the hell I put it. Oh, here it is. This one here, the Unreleased Matches, 85.
Oh!
Like, it's house show matches, because, like, it's stuff you didn't even know was on film. Like,
yeah.
Just Andre the Giant and Ultimate Warrior. Just, like, the most out there stuff. Like, this is what we should be getting. And people were happy about this one. It sold well. So why not continue doing that?
That one was, it wasn't hard for me to find. It was hard for me to find at a good price. I for some reason, I didn't buy it when it first came out. And then it just kind of like eluded me for a while, where I was like, I'm not paying $30 for that DVD. And like, I just like one day was just like, I want to see it. I just bought it, and whatever it costs is whatever it costs. But yeah, that is a really good one right there.
Yeah, that was like, I remember that was when I was pumping out videos like every day. So I was like, well, I can't wait to go out, make a video about this one. It was exciting. And yeah, and if they release more like that, more people will be reviewing them. More people will be trying to spread the info. Like, hey, check this must-see release out. Not just some bullshit Best of Attitude Era Rumble matches. Like,
I think that was the last one, and that was to me, that was kind of like, whoa, this is dumb. Like, to me, like, I know that, like, I don't really know how it works, but what my guess is that, like, WWE isn't the one really releasing them, but those what are they called? The documentaries from A&E. Why not, like, put a couple matches on there? Like, like, you have this person, and you're like, well, here's kind of like the biggest feud they ever had. Here's like the biggest match they ever had, and like, just add like 2 matches to every documentary that you put on there to give you a little bit more to go along with what you're watching. Like when you watch when they would do the 3 disc sets, like, and disc 1 would kind of be the documentary, and then you would kind of get 2 discs of like matches and interviews and things like that. The documentary is what's supposed to make you dive into those matches and not get bored just sitting there watching match after match after match of the same guy, because it's like, he talked about this, I want to see that. He talked about that feud, I want to see a match from that. And that's what kind of like gets you through it, because best of the ladder matches 2, they're good DVDs. They got a lot of matches on there, but that's something that you just can't sit down and watch all 3 discs bam bam bam, because you just kind of like, once you've seen it all, and you just can't watch that stuff over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that hard to put a documentary on disc 1, and you're going to be talking about these matches. So it's like adding butter on the toast. You get context, you get more flavor. You're like, oh, so this is what they were talking about during the documentary.
That's
like,
it.
It's characterization. And yeah, I remember they released the A&E documentaries. I got one of them. I didn't get volume 2. Volume 3 is the one I didn't get. So at least they're out there, but it's bare bones.
It works for me because I don't have A&E. I subscribe to YouTube TV, and for some reason that's just a channel that I don't get. And so I'm able to pop them in and watch them and not have to sit through, like, when people record them and like they upload them to YouTube, they have like some weird angle on it. It's hard to watch. Sometimes you don't get the whole screen. So it's just an easier way for me to watch it, I think.
Yeah. And before we head out, any recent pickups?
I have a pile of stuff. Probably most importantly is like this one that I just got from Black Friday. I waited on this for a while. Most people who've been collecting for a long time know about RF Video. They were kind of like what led me to ECW back in the day. RF Video as a company doesn't sell DVDs anymore. They're 100% digital. You buy what would be a DVD, and you get to watch it one time, kind of like it's a rental. That's the type of business they want to run. For some reason, High Spots sells their old stuff, and they don't have a lot of it. So I knew I was going to want to buy a bunch, because it's kind of like the last chance, I think, the last chance to buy it, unless you find somebody like selling off their collection on like a Macari or a YouTube. I picked up Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka, Best of Cactus Jack, which is freaking huge, Shane Douglas, Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn, and then the Best of Terry Funk. He passed away, this year, and that was sad. And Terry Funk's a guy that I know is in the wrestling business for a long time, and besides for like the stuff that he did in WWF and WCW, I don't know a lot about him. So this is going to be one that I'm going to be wishing that I could dive into sooner than later. I wish it came with a documentary, because as far as I know, there really is no Terry Funk documentary. But as far as I can tell, this is almost everything he ever did in ECW. As well as ECW, I picked these up. It's called the Legacy Collection. It's from 92 to 2014. 18 discs in all. It's pretty much every like pay-per-view as well as big show that they did. Before they were on pay-per-view, everything they did was like a VHS tape back in the day that circulated around. All of it is unedited. All of it has the original music and anything that would have happened during its initial release, whether if it was on TV, VHS, DVD. I haven't really got started on these at all, but this is something that I really want to be happy that I have, because of how watered down ECW is on the network. They don't have the themes. They cut certain things that happen. They don't want to be too non PG. And there's no beliefs or anything like that when the guys curse. So I'm pumped to have these in my collection. And then the one that I've been working on slowly but surely, I've had this one for about a year. Is the best of I apologize. The complete catalog of Coliseum home video. They have everything from the United States to Europe and Asia. Any tape that they ever would have put out that was like, I was kind of surprised that they were on there. Even like the pay-per-view tapes are on there as they were released, but like Tales from the Crypt, the Paul Bear VHS, Best of Diesel, Best of British Bulldogs, Best of Demolition, all of those are on here. And that, honestly, to me, is more of my childhood than anything else. And when I put that on and watch something from like 88, 89, 90, that's what gives me the biggest smile about watching wrestling these days, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that to me is like the holy grail of collections you can have. Just the entire Coliseum catalog. But I haven't gotten much. Honestly, I've been catching up on stuff I missed. Yeah, all I've gotten recently, it's kind of boring. But just the pay-per-views from this year, I was pretty behind for a few months. So I got those. I haven't gotten the new one yet that released. People are asking me about it, and I'll get there when I get there. Like,
when you're buying the pay-per-view ones, are you waiting? Are you like kind of like buying them as soon as you see them because you won't be able to find them like in a Walmart? Or are you buying them off Amazon? Are you waiting for a good price on them? Or how? Like, one of the reasons why I don't collect the pay-per-views anymore is because they're so easy to push a button and just watch them on the network. I don't know. I just, for everybody's collection has their own rules. Like, I say I have every WWE DVD, even though I'm able to tell you, like, I don't have the Divas ones because I would be embarrassed to have those in my collection. And I don't have the pay-per-views after 2014. To me, I am complete. You might look at me and be like, you ain't complete because you ain't got those. But everybody's collection has everybody's own rules. So, like, how is it that you buy those? Do you buy them when you see them? Or do you wait for a good deal on them? Or
the ones that are older that I have to catch up on, I wait for a good deal. eBay's always been my go-to. You can get lucky on there. And then the new releases, I just go to Walmart. They're usually there for like 2 or 3 months. So I'm like, all right, I have 2 months to go pick it up if I want it. And I'll do a little DVD hunt video, do a review, and it's still fun to do that. I'm not anywhere near as active on YouTube as I once was, but and there is that completionist of me, like, oh, I got that little OCD in me, like, oh, I need that DVD because I have all the other ones. So yeah, a lot of it's OCD. Like, I'm like, oh, heading to Walmart, might as well check out if they still have the last one, and then pick it up. I mean, like you said, you can watch it anywhere. For me, it's just having it physically on the shelf. It's just satisfying. It's a product you can have forever. And there's artwork, it's not what it once was. The cases are flimsy, eco cases and all that crap. But
there's no pamphlet or whatever you call it on the inside. Like, that tells you, like, go to disc 2, this match is on there. It's kind of just like, whatever's on there's on there, man. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, they're just like, they have a DVD player. They'll be all right. They'll figure it out. I'm surprised they even do menus at this point. But it's been great talking to you, man. I appreciate you coming on. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you?
My name is Steviebreech, just about on everything that you can think of. I tweet way too much. If you don't follow me, I understand, but go check it out every once in a while. On YouTube, Steviebreech. I'll probably make more football videos talking about my 49ers than I do wrestling videos, but I guarantee you that when I make a wrestling video, it's on something that matters, and it's something that means something. Like CM Punk returning, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, stuff like that. We don't really do rumor videos like I used to do, like in 2014, where it was just like I would read nodq.com and just make a video and just any random thing that popped up. Like if I make a video about something, it's about something that I really want to talk about and get off my chest to the world, my feelings.
Yeah, I think that's how it should be. Don't force it. Just if it piques your interest and you want to talk about it, then go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been great having you on, man. I appreciate it. And for now, peace out.
Thank you.